Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Quantum Leap Morning Leap session for Friday, July 22nd. My name is Doug McKay. I'm the founder and head moderator of Quantum Leap Futures. Each morning we get together in these live go-tos to take a look at the structure of the market, take a look at it macro to micro, drill down to our trade levels, our targets, and our hypotheses for the day. This is a subscription room, so if you're interested in checking it out, please send an email to quantumleapfutures@gmail.com, and I'll respond with the information. Before we get going, please read through the disclaimer. Nobody from Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Any trades that you see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes only. Please trade your own due diligence, your own trade plan, and your own risk metrics. So yesterday our Hypo 1 was a move down and then finding buyers and then rotating up through value and going and taking out that all-time high that was put in the Globex at 70.25. Our secondary hypothesis was a move up and then a failure to break out or a false breakout and then a rotation down towards the VPOC down here and towards that microcomposite VPOC at the 60.75. We had a measured move at 60.75. And the normal auction would have been moved down and then continue, but I said that the Hypo 1 and Hypo 2 would have similar weight because of the amount of move that we've made so quickly. Hypo 2 played out. We came all the way down, took out that measured move at 60.75, took out the microcomposite VPOC at 60.75, and then continued the rotation down into the 55, found buyers down at the 53.50, which was one of our trade levels, and then we rotated back up into the lower distribution. We created a double distribution, but this lower distribution is fairly undetermined, and we've spent some time overnight now filling this in a bit. So let's just take a look at the news. We had Canadian core CPI, retail sales CPI, and retail sales all came in with a hit or a beat. Only other news we've got today is the flash manufacturing PMI. So not a lot of news today. Earnings continue to look strong. Fairly decent earnings. Most of the ones this morning were a hit or a beat, and we're seeing some growth in some of these as well. So earnings continue to be fairly good. Taking a look at the macro to micro, I posted a picture in the room. There is a where is it? I just had it open. There is a inverted cup and handle right now on the 5-minute. It is valid until we get above 62.50, but I would wait until we get below the rim to actually, don't try to front run this and wait for the break below the rim, because then you've got a good target. You've got the Globex VPOC at 58.75 as a main target. That's the 38%, with your main target just below that at 58.50, and then the extended target down at 57.75. So then is that the low? The low of the night is 56. But because of the earnings and because of the fact that we've got that unequalized high so close in the 69.75 and 70.25, I would be careful as long as we stay in the upper distribution from yesterday's. Taking a look at the macro to micro, you can see that we've had good slope and separation on the 9 EMA and the 20 SMA, creating a very strong trend for the last several years. Then at the end of the year last year, 15, and beginning of 16, we violated it, and then we've taken it back and we put in a new all-time high that was put in the Globex at 70 1/4. Going to the weekly, you can see very strong. We do have a technical gap. We didn't get the FUBAR Mr. Sneaky. We put a higher high in, so we've got a strong trend going on the weekly. On the daily, you've got slope and separation. We are coming back and starting to go sideways. Move down to the 51 would challenge the 9 and put us near the low of the week. The low of the week is 21.51 1/4. Going to the intraday, basically 4 hour, we're just basically going sideways. We are holding the 9 and the 20, but we're getting an MA hug right now, and we're at a decision point, and we're either going to pop back up and put in a new high or break down and go challenge that weekly 9 and back down towards that 51 1/4 level. Going to the 1 hour, we're basically again got a bit of a flag pattern here right now. We are above the 9 and the 20. You know, we had a naked cross, but they came down and closed it out in the last bar. So we don't have any slope, but we do have separation, so the trend is intact right now and starting for a possible upward trend on the 1 hour. On the 30-minute, you can see we are basically the same thing, start of a possible upward trend. We need to break below the 21.59, 75, 60 area, and that would put you below that rim line of the inverted cup and handle that's set up on the 5-minute. But right now the trend is still intact to the upside. That's why I was saying to be careful on taking that pattern. That pattern is not a pattern or a breakout until it breaks below. And then on the 15-minute, we are below the 9 and the 20 right now. We're kind of going sideways. Again, we've got this little bit of a symmetrical triangle going here on the 15-minute. Let's just take a look at it. I just want to draw it out for myself. As you get closer to the apex, the break is lessens in strength, but you know, we are going to make a break one way or another in probably the next 25 minutes. Going to the 5-minute, you can see we are starting to get a downward trend, and we've got that inverted cup and handle. And we're below the 9 and 20 right now, but you know, a little bit of a chop coming into this. Okay, so that's just taking a look at the basics. Let's take a look at the structure. You can see that we had this breakout from the microcomposite value area that runs from March through to the breakout day, which was on July the 8th. The 50% of the significant breakout has not been challenged yet. That's at 1450. We've had a couple gaps. Balanced out, accepted price higher up here at the 46, and then broke out again. Now we've got a, is it 6-day or 7-day? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-day microcomposite. We have a double distribution on this with the LVN at 63.50. Our VPOC on the microcomposite is 60.75. Our value area high is 61.50. Our value area low is 53.75. Our warning line is 49 1/4 for lower price discovery down into the 46, and then our key line in the sand remains at 38 1/4. Below 38 1/4, look for them to fill the gap, range gap down to the 36.75, and the naked close at 30.50, down in that 33, 34 area. I'll show you there's some stuff down there. And then, of course, we've got the other gap. But 38, I think we get the bigger pullback and fill in the blunt, the thin area down here and come back and get our bigger retracement. I mean, we have our biggest rotation down in the RTH right now for harmonic rotation is 8 points, and that's it. And we're just in this blunt area right here, starting to get more defined around the 60, 75, but it's still pretty blunt below us through the value area all the way down to 53.50. So taking a look at the overnight. Overnight, we've had a double distribution with the LVN of the distribution at 59.75. We're just above that right now. The close is here at 58.50. We had a double distribution yesterday with the LVN at 64. So I'm going to be using 64. That puts us above the, let me just get this. We've got the overnight high is 64.50. The overnight low is 56. The LVN is 59. $59.75. It's supposed to say LVN. Why does it not say LVN? And that's all the information I need. The HVN in the lower is the 58.75, and that's where what was our overnight Globex VPOC? It shifted to 61. It was down here earlier, so if we come down, we could get a VPOC shift, but right now it's at 61, which is basically sitting right on top of the midpoint and just above the microcomposite VPOC. So it's kind of a bit of a tricky area right here. You could use the 63 LVN if you wanted to front run, but I think you're better off to wait for the 64. You do have the 64.50. You know what? I am going to use the lower one because if we get up above the 63, I think that they'll take out the overnight high, and just be careful. The smarter entry is above the 64. Encompass both of them. And then we've got this Globex LVN. At 59. I'm going to use that as a trade area. And then below that, I'll be targeting the naked close at 58.50 and the lower HVN of the double distribution overnight, and you've got the value area just below at 58. So I'll be targeting the value area low, and I'll be scaling probably 58.75 or 58.50. Below that, we've got the overnight low at 56. And then we've got this little LVN here at 55. Sorry, 54.75. And then 53.50 is the value area low of the microcomposite. So I know it's kind of tight there, but I'm gonna be using that because if we get below the value area, I'm looking for a move down into the 49 1/4, and I'm going to use that 50.50 as a target before we get to the warning line. Anything below 49, I think you got a really nice trade down into 46, and then we've got our daily downside ATR. Our daily 20-period ATR is 30.64, but we still have that outlier, which was the Brexit day of 120 points, 120 and a half points. So taking that out and adjusting it, our 19 period ATR is running at 25.40, so off of the high overnight. That gives us a daily downside ATR target at 39 with our key line in the sand just below it. And then below that, you've got the 33.75, the 30.50, and then a little bit of support at 26.25, and then below that, you've got this cluster down here in between the 22 and a quarter and 14.50, and then the return to the Brexit at 21.06 and a quarter. A little bit of price rejection at 21.03 and a quarter, and then a move down to test the 2000 or the 2100 and back into the 2000s. I don't think we're going to see that today. All right, so to the upside, once we're above the 2164, you got the overnight high, and then I'll be looking for a test of the open from yesterday at the 65.75 and a move up into the upper distribution up through to the 67, and then our range high is 68.50, and above that we've got the all-time high at 21.70 and a quarter, putting the Globex and the RTH all-time high at 69.75. I'd be targeting those. And then there's really not much up there till you get to 75. Our upside daily ATR target is running at 81.50. And then we got a measured move up at 85.50. And then, of course, we've got the 2200, and there's the weekly ATR is up at 22.0450. And that's about all we need right now. So we are going to be opening up inside of range. Hold on 1 second. Do this. We're currently trading 60. Why am I not getting? Oh, there we go. 60.75. We're going to be opening up in range in value. My hypothesis remains the same as it has been all week. Hypo 1 is an open auction in range, a move down, test the value area low, and find buyers down here, down through to 54.75, and then rotate up through value, take out the naked VPOC, and go and break the value area high and range high and put in a new all-time high. It is Friday, so be careful today. Keep your wrist tight. Hypo 2, so Hypo 1 is open auction in range, move down, find buyers somewhere between 58 and 54.75, rotate up through, get up into the upper distribution, run through value, break out, and take out the all-time high. Hypo 2, same thing as it has been mainly all week. A open auction in range, a move up, take out the naked, the overnight high, take out the naked VPOC, test the value area high, and either fail or put in a new all-time high, and then find responsive buyers and rotate back down through and come down and close the gap and come down into the lower distribution and chop around here and close somewhere down here in the lower distribution. Hypo 3 is an open auction in range, move up, test the LVN, chop around, take out the overnight high, push up, take out the naked VPOC, chop around at the high and then get a continuation wave and push up through into 75, possibly even 81.50, and close the week on new all-time highs with a new all-time high. And then hypo 4 is opposite, an open auction out of range, failed to in range, I should say, failed to get into the upper distribution, fail, push down, chop around in the lower distribution, then get continuation, test the warning line at 49.25 and push through down into that 46 with possibility a late day probe down into the 39 and start our pullback and end the week on the lows. So those are my 4 main hypotheses. I'm not going to do gold today because I'm not going to be trading gold today, and I'm trying to keep these sessions shorter. So those are my main hypotheses. We're currently sitting right on the Keltner center line right now, and on the VPOC overnight, and the VWAP overnight. If we get above and move up to the upper Keltner, takes us up into the 66.75, which takes us up into taking out that naked VPOC and the overnight high. A move below will take us down into the 55 and take out that overnight low and close the gap, and possibly come down here and test the 54.75 to see if we can find buyers to complete hypo 1 with them move up. So that's it. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.